hello.
Twitter right now.
I think we might have not that much service.
What time is it?
What time is it?
We're early.
We're a little early.
We keep doing all of our presentations early.
Tenders have been sold out all through the country.
Yeah. And AirPods.
Oh, and
Two hardest
AirPods
things
are
to
also.
get in the world.
Do you want a buttermilk crispy tender? If you right now have buttermilk crispy tenders and AirPods, you're really doing well for yourself.
Yeah.
I love the 2 for $1 apple pies.
Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't get that. I just saw it.
Yeah, we're a little early. No, but honestly, after the Arby's apple turnovers today,
Yeah.
I ate too many Arby's
Did you get
apple
any
turnovers.
sauces?
No, we're not bringing any sauces in the nice car.
We're gonna eat these in the car.
Yes, we're eating them in the car. Yes. Thank you. Everyone just grab a 10
They
nuggets.
gave us a tray.
No, we don't need to try. We're good.
We're
Check
gonna
out my
do
10
that.
nuggets.
Thank you.
Thanks so
Thank
much.
you. I don't think she was happy that we were on the
No, she
Periscope.
wasn't.
No,
She
she
didn't
was
want
not.
to film,
She
and
did not.
honestly, we should have asked for consent.
And we didn't. I love M&M McFlurries too. M&M McFlurries are
Do
great.
you want to throw her back, Eddie?
All right,
Yeah.
we're coming back. Here's the comma.ai demonstration unit. Here's our license plate. Should have got it to go. We did get it to go. They messed up our order. It's all right though. It's all right. It's the same thing because we took it to go anyway. What? Oh, I didn't unlock the car, guys.
To yell at you last time to unlock the door.
Yeah, I know. Look, they're cold. How long should we keep them cold for?
We got warm nuggets. So.
Oh, we got super liked. Oh, I can't even get at my nuggets. I'm holding the Periscope. All right. Oh, okay.
Very good without ketchup.
No sauce in the car. All right. I'm handing you all back to Vivian.
Yay.
Oh, the drive-thru. Oh, no, I like going in. We had to pee, too. All right, so you see our destination is the LaCroix Wellness Center.
What's that?
You want to see that? There's
Brightness work?
Yeah, it works. All right. Nuggets, Mom. You all want some nuggets? What?
Dude, we feel for so many things.
Packing cubes are great.
Is it too much?
Buy
No.
Amazon Basics
To
packing
be
cubes.
honest, guys, this is our last Periscope. There'll be no shilling.
Yeah.
Just reflections on the tour. We would, guys. comma.ai is not shutting down. There is no way in hell us all in jail. To be honest, let's be real. Because let me tell you who I draw life inspiration from. Captain on a fake show in a movie called Galaxy Quest. And his saying is, never give up, never surrender.
Yeah.
Nice.
And that's the truth.
We came, we saw, we conquered.
Never give up.
Never surrender. We know we're in a real place because there's an Applebee's here.
Applebee's. It's pretty.
Lumberland Fairfield. You want more nuggets?
Where is the Tesla supercharger? Someone just mentioned they saw it and I can't find it.
I mean,
You see one here?
Oh, there it is! Oh my god!
Wow.
Over there!
How did they know that? Oh, because we tweet our location.
Oh, we share our location, yeah. You know any Scopies?
50.
3 people. Join us for our last Periscope. No, really, there's no chilling on this one. No emotional blackmail. We're never giving up. We're here to win. As much as I might want to give up, my life would be a lot easier.
But you feel
My life could be so easy, you guys. So easy.
Easy's boring.
shame, guilt.
I don't even think I feel shame and guilt. I don't really feel those things. What I would feel is just kind of like bored.
Yeah.
Boredom.
Boredom.
Yeah. Because the truth is, the only thing that's exciting in life is when new things come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Right? And
Wait, can we open this group? I think we'll get more light for the viewers.
Yeah.
There we go.
we,
I'm really on my...
did anyone have any new experiences on this tour they'd like to share?
I got into a deep, dark hole when we talked about life. But I'm out of it.
I don't know, we talked about neo-reactionaryism.
We could talk about neo-reactionaries.
That was cool.
Oh, cool.
Question existence.
Good question. It's just a new way of thinking about things.
We had good talks.
Yeah.
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 What else? What did we learn?
What else do we learn?
We did talk about the silent scope session. Yeah, we did. We
Yeah.
reflected on it.
Absolutely.
Eddie's parents we're concerned.
Well, we're really being real in this.
Shout out to Mr. and Mrs. Samuels for watching, right?
Yeah, right?
Yeah. Hello, fam.
Pretty well.
What else?
Nuggets.
Nugs.
George, did you have any reflections you wanted to share?
No, I really just like what I was saying yesterday about I'm not sure I want to be a rapper when I grow up.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I could go around the country from place to place and perform the same songs over and over again.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of what it feels like, and I don't know, that's something that's always been really hard for me. To like do the same thing twice and not be bored the second time. Maybe it's a good thing. But it just means I'm not really cut out to be a touring rapper. I'm sure there are rappers who do not tour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your studio rapper.
Yeah. I don't know, tour life is kind of hard and miserable. But, no, to be real, we probably will do this next year again. The car will drive better. Hopefully we'll have some corporate sponsorship.
Yeah.
Maybe we can get sponsored by, like, the Hilton.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Right? We'd
Stay
say,
at all
like,
the suites.
Yeah,
some, like
exactly.
the nicest suites in all
Yeah,
these, like,
and we would
cities.
Periscope
Yeah.
and everything.
Right?
Yeah, we haven't been loyal at hotels.
Yeah, and then it's not even chilling. Then it's, like, real.
Yeah.
Like, you know, they're helping us out. But no, don't feel pressure to buy our products. We're not actually going out of business.
Well, I mean, we want people to buy our stuff at
We do,
shop.com.
but really only if you want it.
Yeah.
You guys know what our return policy is. Like, if you get it, you don't like it, send it back. You get a full
How
refund.
quickly do comma hoodies ship? Well, they'll ship as soon as we get back in the new
We get
year.
back.
On the
We-
5th or
we-
something.
Yeah. We didn't bring any hoodies with us.
Yeah, we should have, but we're running low on them.
We forgot.
Yeah.
We are running low, and that's why prices are going up.
Yeah. Oh, I was supposed to text you. Periscoping.
Yeah.
Scopies, did you guys have any reflections?
One of the last two nuggets.
No, I'm good. I got one of those.
Ready? Oh, there's more nuggets in there even?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, 20 is a lot of nuggets.
20 is a lot, but it's only 1 cent more than 10.
I know. No, actually here, it was $4.49 for 10 nuggets.
Wow.
San Francisco, it's
What's been our favorite
$4.99.
part of the trip so far? I think we all can easily agree. Little America, 75-cent codes.
Little America.
Yeah, Little
Yeah.
America, it's a stop between...
It wasn't about,
Wait, before Denver.
It wasn't about the cones. It was about, and you Scopies weren't with us that night.
No.
It was about almost dying on the highway.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
We're driving
Yeah,
through,
with the ice.
through a snowstorm and ice.
The car's really safe.
The story's really safe.
What was
Yeah.
the fear of almost dying, but
It was the
We
fear of
weren't.
almost dying and then ending up in this small little oasis called Little America.
we're 57 people
Guys,
dead.
we can't even stop. We're shilling for things.
Wait, someone just said, yeah, I was all in, then out, now back all in. I just ordered a new car to make this all possible.
Thank
That's
you.
awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're
no.
not going to shill.
We're not. We're not even shilling for
honestly
Little
just-
America. I
yeah.
genuinely enjoy Little
You
America.
me too.
Yeah,
But,
I
like,
mean,
how do you separate that from shilling, right?
what's the definition?
How can you even communicate genuine emotion
Because you're
in a
truly,
world
when
that-
you shill, you don't genuinely feel love for
think
Bitcoin
so.
Cash, do you?
No, I don't.
But you genuinely feel love for Little America.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, how can you communicate the difference, right? In a world so saturated with fakeness, is it real? What is a shill? I don't know. I just use that word a lot.
An accomplice of a hawker, gambler, or swindler
I mean,
who acts as an enthusiastic customer to entice or encourage others.
yeah,
So it has to be deceptively
yeah.
promoting something. We're not shilling.
There's this song, "Marine Tigers" by The World Is a Beautiful Place, and I'm no longer afraid to die. And they have a line I really like, and it's
George, why you said simulation won't win?
well, we can talk about that in a minute. But you know, can you still call it a country if all the states are broken? Can you still call it a business if all you do is steal?
Yeah.
That's kind of how I feel about a lot of businesses today. Why do I feel simulation won't win? Because where does the simulator come from, right? You have to code the simulator. In the same way, you know, hand-coded driving cars won't win. Hand-coded simulators won't win for the same reason, right? It's vision, it's graphics instead of vision. Graphics is still kind of hard. It's hard to get all the last edge cases. but you know, I'm gonna reflect. Is there any more?
Yeah.
Is that the last nugget?
2018
How many nuggets?
Camry
Oh, last
S11
nugget.
is
Oh.
the best looking open pilot car out there. Nice.
Oh, which one?
Camry 2018.
Good luck doing that port.
Good luck, and when you do, it'll be the best looking car out there.
All right, great. Just realness. Go home, reflect on this year, try to write a song about it.
Yeah.
What do when I get home?
Do you have a keyboard?
Guys, I hope you're seeing that sunset in the side mirror. Man, I'm getting good at filming these periscopes.
Yeah, let me get one.
Yeah, it's always kind of depressing to drive to the east for this reason. You're driving away from the light.
Yeah. It's true.
Yeah. Go away from the light. But that's how you stay alive.
Go away from the light. I mean, yeah, I feel like a moth.
Well, yeah.
Things kill you in the light. What are you guys gonna do when you get home?
Going to New York City.
Sweet. Are they flying back to Florida?
Nah.
Flying to New York?
Going to New York.
Oh, right, nice.
Yeah, on Saturday. I'm chilling for Chicago for a little bit. I've never been to Chicago. And then New York City.
Big turn, y'all. Big turn. Look at
Nice
that. Big
turn.
turn.
Nice.
You never been to New York City?
No, I've never been to Chicago.
I've never been to Chicago.
I love New York City. I've been to New York City.
Chicago's alright. It's the best city on earth.
Serious.
Yeah.
It's real.
It's real. People in New York are real.
Yeah. Way more than SF.
Well, the problem with SF is you have no diversity. There's very little diversity in San Francisco.
Yeah.
Diversity of thought.
No, would everyone admit that's true though?
No, I mean it's absolutely true, right? And what you get when you lack diversity is extremism.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what you see in San Francisco. It's sad. You don't have this in New York. In New York, I think things are pretty well balanced. So extreme positions are ridiculed as they should be, and everyone's kind of pushed to the middle and a common ground. And you really do have a lot of common ground between New Yorkers.
Yeah.
Where in San Francisco, you just have these sub factions that hate each other.
Yeah.
Something else we were talking about. I think you can look at the two sides of the political spectrum this year. One side was maybe driven by a hate for immigrants, and the other side was driven by a hate for the rich. And I think both of these are proxies for, what's going to be hated in 2020, and it's going to be technology. You're already starting to see it. There was a Wired article this morning. I think that's going to pick up. You're going to start to see a real hatred of technology. And I am deep down, curious as to why. If AI does take all of your jobs, well, isn't that a good thing? But I'm just an out-of-touch startup bro, right?
You're the bad guy, George.
I am the bad guy. But, I never said I was the good guy. I'm just a guy.
I'm just a guy. Sometimes good, sometimes
Yeah.
not good.
I think,
We're all flawed.
Lil Wayne has a great track at the end of the Carter 3, Don't Get It, where he goes into this.
Of people.
Yeah, it's just like, I am just human, and I don't know if that's inherently good or inherently bad, but...
Yeah,
It is.
basic income. Fan.
Yeah, I'm a fan.
UBI.
I'm a fan.
Yeah.
I think most people kind of are.
But things will also get much cheaper.
Yeah, I mean, just the
In theory as well. Like once the machines are cheaper than people.
We just ate a whole chicken's worth of nuggets for $5.
Right. So the same is going to be true when AI replaces all the jobs, right? So you won't need.
Does everyone feel like kind of full from those nuggets?
I feel disgusting.
I mean, I feel a little disgusting, but like I feel also kind of full, right? I got good calories. It's meat. I know I got to eat vegetables, scopies, but
we need some greens.
some greens. Yeah,
It's hard to eat greens on the road.
it is hard to eat greens on the roads. They should make some astronaut broccoli.
Yeah, like why doesn't McDonald's just sell like raw kale?
Well, you can talk about whether it's
I'd buy that.
expensive, but that's one of the theories I've heard. But I wonder more if that's really not what people are going to buy.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, people. The expensive part is that it goes bad.
It does go bad. It's a lot easier to ship nuggets. Buttermilk chicken tenders are out of stock all over America.
Yeah,
Everywhere we went.
they look really
Planes
good.
have OBD ports.
Do we what?
Planes? No, I don't think so. Trucks do, but a lot of them are 24 volts. Don't plug a Panda in.
You can't actually.
Yeah, they have a notch.
There's a notch in the 24 volt OBD2.
Oh, Vanilla Gorilla, of course, would know. No, they don't.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, Vanilla Gorilla, no, yeah.
flies planes.
They might have can. I don't know what the buses
Probably
are.
can.
I don't know what the buses are on planes.
There's not that many interfaces.
You know, I'm sure there's a lot of ECUs. Well, at least in like a 787.
Oh
That thing's
yeah,
got
but
so
I was
many
thinking like a small plane.
Yeah, small planes. I
Like
mean,
like a 2-seater plane is probably not that
like
big.
an old Cessna 172. Yeah, I don't
Most
even.
planes are old.
No, that's literally. It's like there's a there's a linkage.
Yeah.
I don't even know if there's hydraulic boost. I think like you're making the flap go up by pushing on the shit.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean a modern 747 probably has can.
Something like that, probably. Yeah.
Yeah. I think helicopter.
Yeah.
That's the caffeine water.
Oh, I love caffeine water. Water Joe.
It's in Minneapolis, we could have visited.
Water Joe?
Flaps are electric on most planes.
No, not like a Cessna. Not like an old Cessna 172. Sure. Most new planes, like if you're talking like, big jumbo jets, yeah, they're fly by wire.
Control services on small planes are wired.
Well, so like the thing about wire is, do you mean a piece of piano wire?
I don't know. I'm
No.
just reading.
Control surfaces on small planes are literally a linkage, I think. Maybe new ones are different, but yeah. I think of we lost the rudder. Okay, climb out and kind of just push on it a little bit, right? That kind of works.
That works.
I think that's happened. So we fixed it now. Look, I can press the cruise control button to reset the health bar. That was a little change we made. Trying to get this release out tonight or maybe tomorrow.
Stop back in KC and we can go fly next time.
Next time. Yeah. This is just realness, not silent. It's not like the Periscope last night. Maybe this is a pretty good last one.
Yeah.
Got to go.
You gotta put it back in.
No, it was fine. Still heading to the lacrosse wellness center, of course.
What do you think's there?
I'll find out in 105 miles.
Yeah.
This route is 9 minutes faster. I still don't get off in 105 miles. So. People pretty quiet? Viv?
Huh?
Are people pretty quiet?
Yeah, pretty quiet.
Oh. A little too much steering on this turn. Oh, we're gonna lower our speed.
It's hard. It's impossible to see the wheels, so I'm just showing the system and the beautiful sunset. No, you're not quiet. Well, you're asking some questions, but how are we going to support planes? And I was like,
We're gonna support planes.
No.
No, but you know what actually someone should really build? So in small planes, the number one cause of crash is controlled flight into terrain. And that is exactly what it sounded like. You crashed into a mountain in a completely working plane. At first you think, that was really dumb. Why'd you crash into the mountain? And the problem is this. You look and you see a mountain in the distance, right? You can't exactly estimate sort of what your climb rate is, but you're like, okay, we'll fly over the mountain. But say the mountain has 2,000 feet over you or 1,000 feet over you, and your climb rate is only 400 feet per minute. Well, if you only have 2 minutes until impact, that's not going to work. So what you really want to do is turn around. somebody should make an app that you can run that just, we have great terrain maps. This is such a preventable accident.
Wondering about getting calibration with RAV4 on openpilot. Any advice?
Should calibrate, is it not?
Yeah. Should calibrate. Also, someone called me out and said I don't read their shit. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna interrupt every conversation and read every single comment. Otherwise,
what they say?
Apparently, they like you. No, they didn't explicitly say they like you. Better read this shit.
Sounds like they did.
Well, we got someone out there who was Team Viv.
So hopefully.
Hashtag Team Viv.
Hashtag Team Viv.
Notice anything different about the performance of the trip compared to SF experiences?
Some states, Nevada, it had issues. But other than that...
Yeah, the right lane in Nevada was about 3 times as thick as it is now.
Hashtag Team Viv, thank you.
And the model...
Well, it just
is a more predictable...
Panda Toyota safety
lane.
model? What is this? Or mode,
What?
sorry. Panda Toyota safety mode.
you can read the code for it. It's pretty well documented.
Hashtag Team Eddie, whatever.
No,
Alley Cod, I'm gonna ban you. Just
Don't
kidding.
ban these people there. People are entitled to whatever
whatever
opinion they want. You're entitled to your own opinion, but you're not entitled to your own facts.
Right. No, don't worry, I'm not gonna ban you. I wouldn't do that. I do ban the bots. How hard will self-driving be in New York City?
Where do you want to self-drive? The truth about self-driving is it's pretty boring. I mean, when it actually is working well, safe driving is boring driving.
What did you name this, George?
Name what?
Name the Periscope? The last one?
The last one, I think, right?
Okay, someone asked the last one what?
It's the last Periscope of our tour.
I'm glad you blocked that autonomous safety lawyer dude. Did we?
Oh, did we block
on Twitter?
Lawyer? Oh, I block people on Twitter who piss me off, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I think I liked it.
No, I mean, the thing is,
Sorry.
they're just out there, they like no you can't kind of people. Okay, I mean, maybe we can't. You might be right. But you're not adding anything to the conversation by saying that, right?
Yeah.
Just saying no you can't. Now, if you have critical feedback, that's always welcome. But if you just have hate, I mean, blocked.
Haters.
Haters get blocked.
Yeah.
Critical feedback's always welcome.
Unless you're a funny hater.
If you're funny, oh yeah, then you have a redeeming quality,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, you give us entertainment.
Yeah,
Funny's good.
funny haters are, I'm gonna block funny haters.
Why
Be
no
clever.
New York City stop? Oh, we've done a lot of stops.
We've done a lot of stops. Touring's kind of exhausting. We really wanted to tour through the middle of the country, you know what I mean? I would love to see the Juicero CEO do a tour through the middle of the country.
Bringing pouches of juice.
Bringing pouches of juice. Oh, it went bad. The juice expiration thing. The DRM doesn't.
Yeah, they need a fridge.
Oh, there's no green box has Square on Eon, but has been on Neo from start. What was that box for?
No, we can talk about the box in a minute. But I want to even.
This is what happens.
I want to. No.
It's good.
But we'll keep it in the queue, right?
Okay.
There's a stack.
There's a stack. Even better than a queue. No, it's a queue because it's first in, last out. Philo. No, even about Juicero there, I'm going to call myself out and be like, Juicero, we applaud you for trying.
Boom. I like this.
That was anti-shilling, right?
Yeah.
I don't even want to anti-shill. I just want to...
Anti-shill. But that would mean you're talking about something
shit
negatively,
talking. Yeah, it's
but truthfully.
anti-shilling. Yeah, I don't know. Is shilling truthful?
No, it was
Anti-shilling is to be honest, a Juicero might have been a great product for some people, right?
Yes, but
that's what I mean.
Someone wants a Juicero that turns potatoes into French
for Juicero. So the green box you were referring to is the calibration box. It didn't convey that much information to the user, so it's been removed with the UI upgrade of 0.4.
yeah.
Nice.
Look, we're passing Rochester.
Oh, Rochester exit. Rochester.
There's only one Rochester exit.
Yeah, and if you miss it, you're going all the way to La Crosse.
What were the goals of the tour? Did you guys feel like you achieved them?
So the real goal of the tour, to be honest, guys, I don't know, it's something to do, and we did something, and that's the real goal. I don't know, selling stuff would have been cool.
We sold some stuff.
But like honestly, like it doesn't really next year we're actually gonna start running ads for things. And welcome to being a real startup, right? We're gonna run ads. We're gonna track, our spend to get a conversion. Maybe we'll even buy Instagram ads. They're kind of one of the best ways to get
to convert.
Marketing.
To convert, yeah. I mean, not like marketing. It's just like you gotta do it, right? It's part of it's just part of a machine. And that's I'll shout out Scott Alexander, Slate Star Codex. Some great blog posts. Talking about like Moloch and how we're all slaves to Moloch and how everybody might want the world to be better, but it's hard to actually make that move. Eliezer Yudkowsky just came out with a book about this too. It's like Inadequacy and Equilibria or something. I forget the exact title of the book, but go check it out. I mean, it just kind of talks about even if you have 100 people who all could take collective action to make the world better. If each individual is incentivized to do something else, then, the collective action doesn't get taken. And now, don't scream communism. Please don't scream communism. Right? What if we just all workers of the world united? Communism has killed more people than any other ideology there is.
Nice, we got a super by Alex too.
Alex too.
Is
that something we unlocked? I'd never seen that.
And
before.
also, someone asked who's the coolest investor we have. Oh, that's too hard to answer. It's like asking a parent who's their favorite child.
Our favorite investor, I don't know. But also about these other meta things, like the Dan Carlin Slate Star Codex thing.
We're supposed to listen to Dan.
We're supposed to listen to Dan Carlin. The point that I want you to take away is not to look at my opinion and be like, I agree with it because he said it. What I like about these resources is they kind of they've given me new ways to think. They've given me new ways to think about problems, and if you come to different conclusions, that's fine. I just, I did this little quick questions with Siraj thing at TITS, our machine learning conference. And if there's one way the world could be better, let's make the world more kind of self-reflective, right?
Is Viv gonna learn to code? Homie, I got enough to do.
Everyone should learn to code.
Should everyone?
You should have some basic knowledge to be able to use Excel at least.
Yeah.
I mean that's coding.
Yeah.
In a way. Just the algorithms mentality.
There's I saw
maybe not algorithms, but managing data.
Yeah, everybody should understand the basic ideas of the field. I saw a slogan at the Kansas City Makerspace that I liked, which was if you don't know how to fix it, you don't really own it.
Yeah.
I think I agree with that sentiment.
Andrew Clemens thinks coding should be mandated.
Well, mandated by who and where? The elementary school we went to, the kids are learning to code.
Yeah, that's crazy. Those kids are
I think
really
it's common.
smart.
It's pretty common. It should be.
More than common.
And it's a good way. I mean, I don't know. I started when I was really young. You pick it up easier when you're a kid. It's like a second language.
Yeah.
Good, I speak a second language, so I don't need to learn how to code.
Well, not exactly. No, I mean, coding is even more of a. You speak French. French and English are not that far apart.
French is a practical language to know.
Well,
you couldn't speak French, George. I could speak French to you right now, you would know what I'm saying.
No, of course not. I could learn French easier than I could learn Chinese, though, right? They talk about if you're an English speaker, learning French or Spanish or languages like that are much easier to learn, German or Russian, which are even easier to learn than Chinese or Japanese.
What's our favorite company besides Comma? We like Amazon.
We do like Amazon.
Amazon's great.
We like Amazon. We like Elon's companies.
Yeah, I like the Boring Company a lot.
I'm a Boring Company fan.
I think trains, it's the future.
No, I mean
Josh Ender says Juicera. Sure, Tesla.
Tesla,
Tesla.
transportation.
SpaceX. All these are good companies.
Yeah. No, we have to get away from these companies that are using psychological tricks to make people addicted.
Yeah.
I'm a Twitter addict, I confess. It's not even funny. Like, I'm actually kind of sad about my Twitter addiction.
George, it's all in your power to stop it.
I mean, it is to an extent. Like, of course it is, right? But, you know, here's the thing about addicts. And if you talk to people who are drug addicts, they'll tell you this, right? You can say that it's all in your power to stop it, and it is. But the truth is, they are still getting something out of their addiction, or they would stop it, right? I am still getting something out of my Twitter addiction, and that's why I don't stop. I mean, it's true about Facebook too, right? Like, if you truly were getting nothing out of it, if you truly got nothing, right? Imagine the drugs stopped working. You could stop using the drugs real fast, right? You'd scream and complain about that, but you know, fundamentally, you are getting something out of it, or you wouldn't be an addict.
Someone's asking if reality is boring.
Reality is boring. I mean, it's better than the alternative, right? Yeah, you can go live in your own made-up world. Yeah.
It doesn't last very long.
No. Even if it did, I mean, well, that's a decision that everyone's going to have to make probably sooner than we think about whether you want to be a wirehead or not.
Oh, refer to the drug use. Got you.
Reality's boring, that's why people use drugs. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Or there's some aspect of reality they can't cope with.
Man, George can be a philosophy teacher. Sure. George also taught 5th graders today.
I did?
Yeah.
I taught them that they were computers.
And 2nd graders, yeah.
I taught them about physics.
They were good. They knew it.
Yeah.
Alternative is dying.
Well, wireheading and dying might be the same thing, depending on how you look at it. Yeah. These questions, here's the thing about philosophy. Philosophy encompasses everything that science has not yet come up with an answer to, right? We used to use philosophy to determine, you know, what everything was made of, right? You go back to Aristotle, and now, well, we use chemistry. And, you know, when Nietzsche talks about, like, God being dead, I mean, what God was replaced by was kind of an Enlightenment view of the world. It was a rational view of the world. Obviously, the reason the sun rises is not because there's a man in a chariot pulling it, but because of, you know, the Earth is spinning, right? And this is a lot of, you know what, you want to talk about where I get a lot of this worldview from. It's like less wrong and rationality kind of stuff. Although it may be simple, well, yeah, that's
George, have you read Uncle Bob Martin stuff? What did you think of that?
No, I don't know what that is.
Also, we should also hire a 10-year-old. Sure.
Hire a 10-year-old. What?
Do you think you'll fly to Mars in your lifetime?
My comment on Mars was, I'll go there when there are 5-star hotels there. Not necessarily because, I need to stay on a 5-star hotel. I would rough it on Mars, man. I'd sleep on a Martian bench. But, no, that would just say something about, like, where the kind of safety and reasonability of the journey are. Yeah. The places that I want to explore aren't necessarily on Mars. They're actually a lot more sort of in my head.
Yeah.
Do I think I'll visit Mars in my lifetime? If I had to bet on it, 10% chance.
Mm-hmm. That would just space.
I'd give space and Mars similar chances.
It's gonna be like a 1-year trip, right?
Do you practice TDD?
I don't know what that is. Temporal difference learning or something?
Moon base or Mars first?
What?
Moon base or Mars base first?
You guys look at the lights; they're totally off over there.
Yeah.
Well, I've recently.
Test-driven development is TDD.
No,
gender's nice.
not really. Not really. I don't know. We're not that explicit on like types of software development or management. Maybe it's worthwhile to learn more about that. Right now we just kind of code. We have integration tests. We should get better with testing. we have unit tests on things like the APIs, some of the functions underlying openpilot. We have the complete hardware in the loop integration test, which maybe you guys have seen back at the house with the eons in the closet.
Yep.
It's pretty good. And then we have our army of beta testers, you guys. We tested ourselves. We're a bunch of employees driving it too.
You're in 4 cars now.
Are you guys committed to using only computer vision?
What would be the alternative?
Use radar.
Use radar. But yeah, I mean, when you look at cameras just from a raw, like, even if you don't understand what the sensor is, they are incredibly high bandwidth, cheap, available. They're really a great sensor. Whereas they don't really compare to anything else.
Just because of smartphone. They become
lot
so
of it.
cheap.
Yeah, I mean, there's big market pressures driving better and better cameras.
Yeah.
So one needs to make it easier for admin consumers to get openpilot installed step by step. Can someone, I would tell you to go to virtually Chris.
If you are a consumer, if you want to do that, yeah, we obviously encourage people to do that. But we're not at the level where we're providing consumer support for openpilot.
A night vision system would be neat.
Cameras see really well at night.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Or it drives better at night than during the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because there's a ton more contrast between the lane lines and the road.
Oh, he's still got 39 dedicated scopies.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's 40.
So I don't know, y'all really came on a road trip with us.
Yeah, it's fun.
This is a real road trip. Oh no, this time of day is always kind of depressing too.
Because it's the sunset.
It definitely
So
changes
I
the
can't
mood.
admire a sunset.
The what?
Oh yeah, I can't admire sun. I don't know. I just think sunsets are kind of boring. I do like long walks on the beach though. So if you're out there, you know.
Sales update. Let me see if I can.
How are our sales doing? I don't think we met the 7K target.
Yeah, there was a 7K target for everyone out there joining us.
We'll do a blog post if we get around.
What? Don't tell them that now.
That's fake news, George.
We're not even shilling. It's real, you know. No, we really would do it if they said the 7K, but I don't think our sales are going to be 7K.
I mean, I'd like to.
Sorry,
I'd like
it
to
was
see
like
a time lapse of the video. That'd be cool.
Yeah, Eddie, you want to code that?
Yeah, give me that God mode and I'll do it.
Have you thought about putting your cameras in rental cars for more data?
We're not really limited by data. We're limited by engineering, and we're not even limited by engineers. We're limited by engineering. It's very hard, you know. A lot of people think. I've always kind of viewed engineering as kind of a creative endeavor, right? And if you want a creative endeavor to get done faster, if you want like an artist, man, produce more paintings, you couldn't really hire more people. You couldn't really give him more money. You couldn't really give him more paint. It's just kind of done when it's done. It's kind of what this stuff is too. We're working, we have ideas, we'll test them.
Sales update is the same. We've got 11 orders.
11 orders,
I like
yeah.
what the guy said at Kansas City Makerspace.
About what?
He was talking to college kids there. His advice was about, when you build something, you build it because your taste is much higher than what's available, right?
Yeah.
So, the system that comes on the Toyota, our tastes were higher than it, right?
Yeah.
We have higher expectations for what it should be. Then we build this thing that keeps you in the lane lines. Some people they come up to us and they're like, "Oh, this looks incredible," but our taste has been raised.
What is the end goal?
And you have like the taste versus what you're capable is always kind of catching up. And when you build the thing with the better taste, your taste rises, but you become more capable, and it keeps going like that. It was a cool thought.
We'll get to that one in a minute. But yeah, no, going off of that, it's like, I don't know, man. I get so frustrated when this thing doesn't work. It should work way better.
Right.
And like next year, it will work way better. But I promise you, on next year's self-driving car awareness tour, it'll be better, but I'll still be mad about how bad it is, right?
That's beautiful.
And even when it's perfect, even when it's level 4, we're gonna get like any sort of crash, any sort of minor mishap, but it still has to be better. Now, I'm not saying it has to be better to ship, right? They say if you're not embarrassed by what you're shipping, you ship too late.
Oh, that's a good line.
Yeah.
Wow, who said that?
Just they.
One of our employees, one of our anonymous employees.
That's a good line.
Some of our employees are anonymous. Kind of respect anonymity employees as much as we can. So what is the end goal of the company? To win self-driving cars.
Yeah, responded. They got that down.
To win self-driving cars, that's not even like, sometimes you'll see it, and you'll see the way I talk, and you'll see kind of in the mindset I'm in. And I'll say it, and I do understand that what people take that to mean is not exactly what I mean when they say it. But I want to solve, I guess I do say this, I want to solve the problem. I want to see the solution. I want to either solve the problem or see the solution. I'd rather solve it myself. Right? It's like a math problem in the back of a textbook. But what's cool is this isn't contrived. If you're doing a math problem in the back of a textbook, Donald Knuth would put math problems in his textbook that were like unsolved problems. Just kind of be like, bro, no one even has the answer, right? So that's just cool. It's kind of like an unsolved problem. Yeah.
Thanks, Alex. Reid Hoffman said that line.
It's Reid Hoffman's line. Okay.
And all jobs. Sort of. Maybe.
No, I say that to troll more than anything else. I don't know. I don't really have an opinion on employment.
I don't know if this is a question or a statement, but think Waymo has level 4 solved for some areas.
Not really.
But level 4 has to be everywhere.
No, level 4 doesn't have to be everywhere. That's level 5.
Yeah.
Level 4 can literally just be on one route.
Not all of our employees are on LinkedIn.
No, they're not.
All what?
No, our employees are on LinkedIn. No.
Big fan of Waymo. Yeah.
I was more honest. Maybe they sort of can be. I wish they were more honest and aggressive.
Their tech is incredible.
Their sensors are really, really good. But this is what Google does, right? Google can take an idea and they can build the best one of it. I've worked at Google a bunch of times, and this is really what the culture brings out. You can see it with Chrome and with Gmail, and with search. They're not so good when they try to do new things.
Google Glass.
And Google Glass, and to be honest, it's not even. Google Glass was kind of a bad product, but yeah, they're not that innovative. They're people who go like the last mile. Fortunately, in a weird way, and this is kind of how the world is today, Google just buys up startups. The world is Google's innovation lab. So what is the end goal for comma? Yeah, it's not to live forever, right? Not as people, but as a company, and that's kind of the end goal of every company, right?
What's your view of Mobileye responsibility, sensitive safety?
It's stupid.
Viv, what is your job? I run operations and VP of operations.
Mobileye gives like a great presentation at CVPR about vision and about real stuff. And then they give a whole presentation that isn't about how to make driving safer, but about how to make driving provably safe so we can determine who has liability, right? I talked to my recent interview about the size of a pie. Well, why don't we just, in this case, make the pie of crashes smaller, right? And not worry about who has which slice. It runs operations.
Pie is only getting bigger.
Will there be self-driving wheelchairs?
The 10 terawatt challenge.
That's a good question.
10 terawatt.
Care to talk a bit about long-term future AI self-driving singularity? This is the deep stuff.
You want to talk about singularity? Well, first you got to define that term. When I was 15, I first read Eliezer Yudkowsky's stuff. And yeah, you first hear about the doubling of compute power. idea is if you build a system that's as powerful as humanity, and there's this law called Moore's Law, which says humanity doubles the power of computers every 18 months. When the speed of computers or the number of transistors on a die or whatever it is, doubles every 18 months, right? But if it's the machines doubling their own power every 18 months, the next doubling will take 9 months, and the next doubling will take 4.5, the next will take 2.25. And then at 36 months, you have a singularity, where they're doubling kind of infinitely fast. It's kind of like the tortoise and the hare problem. So I don't know. I mean, there's that definition, and then there's the definition of the obsolescence of humanity, which is computers are capable of doing every job better than people. So you have to talk about which definition you're talking about and what you want to know about it.
Government will ban people from driving cars.
Probably, yeah. Just as they ban people from riding horses on this road.
Yeah, but you can still ride horses.
Yeah, in enclosed courses, right?
Yeah.
Just like cars. How many?
41.
People are coming around. We'll keep them with us all the way to lacrosse. Do we know where we're staying tonight, guys?
Oh, yeah, did you get something?
No, I didn't book anything.
I'll book that one.
Eddie, you want to do it? And,
Yeah.
So basically, it sounds like the end goal is to be retrofitted in cars from the factory like CarPlay.
Yeah, so working with the OEMs is incredibly difficult because of who they are structurally. I'm not sure that is the end goal. I think you have to think about how else to get into the market. I think entering at the dealership level might be the appropriate sort of place where we are in 2 years.
How were the dealers' perception
Good.
of that idea?
They enjoyed it and they liked the idea. Obviously, they want it to be more consumer-owned, of course. But that probably is the way that you actually manage to ship this. And does this approach win? Well, there's a question all of when, right? Because the other approaches are in some ways more predictable. If you're talking about the build a car and ship a car approach, the fastest company from inception to shipping a standard production vehicle, I think was Tesla. I think it took them 7 years. So that's how long it would take a company if they started today to build a car. Maybe it's a little bit easier with electric. Maybe they could do it in 4 or 5. But it's still a huge challenge. So if companies start today or started last year or started 2 years ago, I think we beat them if they're trying to build cars. Now then there's companies who are trying to work with OEMs. So you look at like Volvo had this Drive Pilot program that they were planning to debut this year. They've pushed it back to 2021, which seems to be the date that a lot of these car manufacturers are saying. Again, I think we win by then. By win, I mean I think we solve the problem by then. The truth is, most people, they'll ask me questions about, like, does the public perception of these systems matter? And in reality, public perception is a lagging indicator of quality. If you have good quality, somehow our society is fairly efficient at disseminating information. If you have bad quality, the same thing applies. Step 1, build a good system, right? So you have to solve the problem, and I think it's solved in maybe 2 or 3 years. That beats out anybody really trying to work with OEMs, if you believe they're 2021, and anybody trying to build their own car. Then there's this third approach. The third approach is maybe the Waymo or Uber approach, where they're building ride-sharing networks. The thing about ride-sharing networks is you have to operate super unprofitably until the minute you solve the problem. Now, if solving the problem were very, very, very predictable, like we knew due to some kind of, inexorable law that the problem would be solved by 2020, and exactly what sensors and compute would be required, if we knew that, then the ride-sharing approach would probably win. Because if we knew that, investment would be easy. The world could get together multiple $1 trillion to build out the entire network, subsidize it, do it all with human drivers, and then 2020 you flip the switch. But because of that uncertainty, scene, I tend to believe that it's going to be about that long. Which is...
Yeah, there are two questions. One, solved is in what level? And two, can we get an MTV Cribs style tour of Comma HQ?
Hey, if you know someone at MTV Cribs, we'll let him into the house. Maybe. Yeah, we'll let him into the house. Which level? So... It doesn't really, like, the levels are stupid. I guess I am talking about level 4. The levels are really just a liability question. It's like, the Supreme Court thing where it's like, pornography, right? It's hard to define, but you'll know it when you see it. It's the same thing kind of with self-driving systems, right? You'll know it when it's solved. You'll type in a destination, it'll go there, and it's highly unlikely to make a mistake.
Just better than humans.
Better than humans, right? Statistically better than humans. So I guess that is level 4. But the levels are kind of it's all about the number of disengagements.
Yeah. Do you guys have to drive back? No, we're shipping the car.
We're shipping the car. It's a one-way road trip. All right. So what car should we buy for next year's self-driving car awareness tour?
Let's get the Audi, the one
really like that Audi?
Sponsored by Silvercar. Ooh,
Yeah.
Silvercar might actually sponsor us.
Silvercar is cool.
Someone
Silver
say
car's
it's
cool.
Subaru.
They're in a lot of cities, though.
Nope, not a Subaru. Definitely not.
Is it a lease? No.
You'd have to pay me to drive across the country in a Subaru. Actually, again, I'm anti-shilling. I don't really have anything wrong with Subarus.
Lambo.
WRXs are nice. No way I'm taking a Lambo to some of the places we went.
Yeah.
Oh, the Lambo in the snow and ice and stuff. Yeah.
So it would be nice to do this in the summer.
I think those A4s are the small-wheel drive
Or else
ones.
just go a more southern route.
Yeah, they have the Quattro.
Right, we're definitely taking a different route
Yeah.
next year. But yeah, we're going to do the same sort of thing. Drive across the country.
Get sponsored.
We're going to get sponsored. I mean, I don't know. I predict big things for Comma. Look at how much has changed in a year.
Yeah.
1 year ago, we had
5 people or something.
barely even, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think we didn't start to get people until January.
Yeah, end of January.
We had openpilot 0.1 was really unusable. It would crash every couple minutes. Like, the software would crash. The Neo was janky. They were kind of hard to get. You had to get that board made. You used to have to that board. You'd have to buy the board and buy the
And
components.
the cable was
solder
like
it
another
yourself.
hazard.
The cable was a hazard. What we saw this year, we saw Neo driven. We saw LA Timer with open boards.
We're an hour away.
Someone says we should get sponsored by Amazon.
Hey.
The next tour come to Canada. Who knows where the next tour is going?
Yeah, I don't know. Crossing international borders is.
Should Tesla have waited to release autopilot?
No, I don't think so. You can look at Joshua Brown's death and obviously it's sad, but statistically it's safer. It's as safe as or safer than humans, assuming that there's a human watching in conjunction with the system, right? And in the Joshua Brown case, there was no human watching. The human was watching Harry Potter, as that's what's believed. I mean, and that's just true, right? So, with all these systems, really you pay attention at all times. And you have to, and you're going to have to for a while. But, I don't know.
With the singularity question, will you stay human or will you upload your mind?
Well, I'm not really sure how you define human. You have to be a little careful with uploading. I mean, this gets really
Wireheading.
into sort of... No. Wireheading is very different from uploading. I don't know. This is all a little bit too far away to think about. Back thinking about self-driving cars again.
Yeah, I mean, and we've always talked about watching the driver's attentiveness.
Yeah.
For level 3 or 4.
We will have to, watch
for a
the
more
driver's
consumer
attentiveness.
product.
For a more consumer product. So yeah, I mean the Eon. Can it see you? We have to check. I'm not even really sure whether the front-facing camera can see you or not.
It's kind of out of view. That's why we were talking about flipping it around.
Tesla AP1 couldn't see you. Tesla AP2 has a driver-facing camera.
It does.
Someone's wondering what would happen if a deer jumped in front of our car.
Don't slam on the brakes. Well, as hard as it can. So it would decelerate with 0.3 G of braking, and then I would press the brakes even harder, get it up to 1 G. Braking is almost always safer than swerving. Braking is almost always the right choice, unless you are really confident in the swerve.
Yeah, swerve though.
Well, like, okay, so swerving like around like a car that you know is not going to move is fine, but swerving around a deer, hit the brakes. You swerve, try to predict the deer's motion.
Yeah,
you end up hitting it. Yeah, with animals, braking is the right choice usually.
We saw a cat cross the highway, you guys.
Yeah.
It was a black cat.
Oh,
Thank God it didn't stop. Ooh, can you imagine?
What? And we hit the black cat?
It would have been such bad.
Openpilot won't slam on the brakes for a cat. Sorry, cat. Neither would you.
Why are there employees at fast food restaurants? George would probably agree with you.
Well, so I mean, what you really want to do is like, if minimum wage laws increase, so you see in areas where minimum wage laws are kind of high, like in Europe or in California, you'll see that McDonald's has replaced a lot of the ordering with those computer screens, right? So increased minimum wage will expedite the replacement of humans with machines. Why are there employees at fast food restaurants? Probably because it's cheaper. Some of those things are kind of like anything where you have to like use your hand in complex ways. Robotics isn't quite there yet.
Not just complex, but
yeah.
Different, multitasked things.
Yeah, well, it's hard to like. It's also much harder to train a robot than to train a person.
Yeah.
Error recovery is tricky. Yeah, you could probably do it. I don't know. You'd also have to look at what the breakdown of operating a fast food franchise is. How much of the cost is human labor?
Apparently, with ABS, you can slam and steer.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So that's the idea, right? You can slam and steer. Now again, your car still has traction rules. You have to ask the question of, study racing a little bit. You have to ask the question of where you want to use your grip. Do you want to use your grip to brake and steer, or do you want to use your grip to try to do both? Both is almost always the worst choice, right? Because then you're getting less braking. Like, sure, you can brake and steer, but you're getting less braking if you're trying to steer. You're using some of your friction in order to steer.
Before they end up overcorrecting and crash harder, sometimes will. Therefore, not before.
Yeah, well, that depends on your traction control system. The one in this car is really good. I had a Nissan 350Z. I used to ride around Rochester. That traction control system was terrible.
It was like early 2000s.
It was a 2008, and it would increase the oscillations. It wouldn't damp them. It was really poorly done. This one is so much better. So yeah, I mean, yeah, bad ones do that. Good ones don't.
I thought something related to the fast food thing. It's still crazy that like you have to get a check at a restaurant. It's such a pain.
Yeah.
Like they should just.
Well,
card readers are so cheap now that they can just like put them at the table.
They're doing this. They're doing this at all the fast casual restaurants.
Really?
There's actually one startup making a killing doing this now. Yeah, you go to like an Applebee's or an Olive Garden.
They have card reader?
They have card readers at the table. They have card readers at the table, and even worse, the things like try to upsell you on little games at the table.
Oh, of course. They can make so much more money.
They have it in airports everywhere.
I've never seen that.
Put iPads in front of you at the airport, and sometimes like in Dallas or Houston, I think it's Houston, I think you can pay where you're sitting. Maybe not. Maybe it's just a order.
Pay for food.
Yeah. No, but this is huge in all the fast casual. There's a startup called like Handy or something.
Yeah.
There's one company who's made a killing doing this, and all of these like Chili's, Macaroni Grill, all of these. It's called fast casual.
Huh.
Yeah.
At level 4, what do you do about like airplanes landing on a highway and these edge cases?
These edge cases are extremely, extremely rare. What do you do if there's an airplane landing on the highway? Well, you probably definitely do something much smarter than a human because you do not panic.
Yeah.
The human might, panic, stare at the airplane, and keep driving. Honestly, what you do most of the times in weird scenarios is brake.
Yeah, whatever a human works.
Here, don't panic, right? These scenarios are not, and this is the same thing with the trolley problem. Like, it's not real. The face is not a dilemma that anybody in the real world has faced. And this is, I don't blame people for thinking this. I really blame the news. I really blame the news for making these extremely rare events seem common. And then what they do, and this is actually like thinking like this, if there's anything you could be doing that's more productive, which I'm not even sure, but I mean, it's killing people, right? Because to be honest, how do most car accidents happen? It's the dumbest shit. People aren't looking, people are texting, people are drunk, people are asleep. Fix that. Don't worry about the edge cases. You'll still save thousands and thousands of lives. Look at that truck, bro. Stay on the road, bro.
Good at showing rare situations they handle perfectly.
Yeah, I know, exactly, right? But it's all fake.
I think he's falling asleep or something.
I don't know. It might be the wind. You see trucks do this, and I think they only do it when it's safe, and they do it for some reason. I don't know. I've never driven a truck, so I couldn't say.
It's a weird looking truck.
Out of time. Oh, wow. Magically actually shipped something today.
I heard.
No, they didn't ship it. You can sign up for a beta.
You can sign up for the beta.
Oh, I'm just saying they ship.
Do they have a price, and can you actually send them money for a pre-order?
I didn't enter
Do
my
they have a price?
Yeah, like to be honest, if they're taking like just a $100 down payment for something,
They announced something.
Or do they? Oh, they announce. Oh, great. Okay.
It's just to raise more money.
It's honestly just to raise more money. It's a PR stunt unless there's a price and a ship date.
It didn't even look like real photos on it. It looked like renderings.
They look like renderings, right?
Yeah.
Like at least like Tesla might announce something and it's 3 years away, but like
But it's on the stage.
they'll ship it in 5 years.
And someone was driving one.
Someone was driving one, right?
2,000, but no price.
But see, that's what I mean. Like it's just fake. It's just fake, and everyone should be better at like realizing that.
Yeah. Does openpilot work in direct sunlight?
What do you mean by direct?
It has some trouble.
It's gotten a lot better.
Rolling Stone
It's surprisingly good. What about a Rolling Stone article?
I don't know. They say Rolling Stone article is good. What is the
about Magically being a scam? Yeah. Oh, I did.
Oh, they
see
wrote
that.
about a scam?
Was that the one?
No, wait.
Is that
Was it a scam or I don't know.
Oh, did they review it? Did Magic Leap actually give out hardware? I don't know. Like Magic
There are
Leap,
reviews of it.
from what I've seen with Magic Leap, is they continually like promise this, and that. Hey guys, remember when I said we were going to launch the comma.ai? We open sourced it all by the end of the year, and like here we are a year later, and like we got a comma.ai. It's an anagram of one. It's a lot nicer. It's not bright green.
It's not green, just the screen is.
Just the screen is green.
Well, we're still obsessed with that. Yeah, green.
It's important to ship. It's important to be real. In some ways, the only way to kind of express yourself differently is to countersignal. Elias's book talks about this too, like really analyzing countersignaling and what it does.
I would like to get a Magic Leap employee on our Periscope and let us know.
Oh, they probably can't talk about it.
Yeah, I think they all have NDAs.
They all probably have like insane NDAs, right?
Yeah.
I mean, whenever you have scams, you have insane NDAs.
Yeah, but what are they thinking? Are they also waiting to ship stuff?
Do we make employees sign NDAs?
They just sign they sign an IP agreement which has a little line for NDAs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
IP agreement. IP agreement is to prevent us from being sued.
Yeah, exactly.
There's very little in comma that's truly non-disclosure.
Yeah.
Like, if somebody leaked what the pigeon was,
That'd be, yeah.
I mean,
They'd be fired immediately.
they'd be fired immediately, just like the person who leaked Midnight Black.
I don't know. I mean, a lot of times it's you.
I know. God, guys, if I could fire myself as CEO of comma, I would have done it so many times.
No, I mean, like Magic Leap and like, I don't know, U-Beam. I don't know what they're doing. Like, U-Beam is definitely free.
Yeah.
Some employees have come out against that.
I've met her too. I don't want to say anything bad. Like, she has like a positive like outlook. Like, the only reason people think this is impossible is because they don't try hard enough, or like anything is possible if you believe in yourself. And like, it's a nice sentiment. And like,
to a certain extent.
that's the thing. Like, it's not even that U-Beam is impossible, right? U-Beam is actually, you could build it, right? You see, they do show those things. I mean, they don't show anything real like the current flow, the power flow to the device, right?
Yeah.
But they would really, that's what you really want to do. You want to get the watt meter up there, right?
Yeah.
Get one of those little USB,
the ones we show.
Charging watt meter ones, the ones that we always post on our.
Yeah.
And they don't do that because they want you to like. And you know what? You could probably get the current up. You could probably even design the thing to be safe, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like U-Beam is caught so much in this, like, we have to kind of prove ourselves to the world. Like, we've been saying this for so long. So in poker, this concept is called being pot committed.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I've already put a lot of money in the pot. This might already be, like, a kind of losing hand. Like, I kind of think I'm going to lose the hand, and, like, you know, calling his raise isn't really worth it. But I'm going to do it because I'm pot committed.
What should they do when they realize, like, we can't really build this, what we showed as a rendering when we went to investors?
Yeah, I mean, to
what
be honest...
What do you do when you, after you collected $50 million?
I don't know.
I don't know what you do.
They don't have, I mean, it's not like they can give the money back, right?
Well, they could.
Yes, they could, and they could give it back at a loss, and they could be like...
Let this be a lesson.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Well, it's not even, yeah, but like the whole point is, it's not even that UB is impossible, it's just incredibly impractical, right? Charging cell phones using ultrasonic power is incredibly impractical.
Yeah.
Dragon Sector team from CTF says hi and wondering if you're going to be doing CTF anytime soon.
Yo, what up, Dragon Sector? I met with one of the guys from Nullify in Omaha, and he said something, you know, he was asking, like, George, you still play CTFs? And I'm like, no, not really anymore. And then he said, we don't really either because CTFs have a meta now. And I thought that was like a really brilliant way to express kind of what I think about CTFs now. It's too much like, okay, there's these kind of problems, these kind of problems, these kind of problems, and these kind of problems. You drill on them, you get faster at them. And ironically, as much as I talk about winning, the real reason I played CTFs was to learn. And I just wasn't learning as much anymore, and I'm still not learning as much. I've come back and tried a few problems occasionally, but it doesn't have the sort of novelty that I feel that it used to. By the way, like, just let me take a little quick aside here. Driving with openpilot really is a great experience. I'm not even chilling. We've been driving for an hour now.
Yeah.
Like, everybody already, when they're driving, lets driving fade into their unconscious. I'm sure everyone's had this experience where they were driving on a highway and they realized, wow, I've just traveled an hour and I haven't really thought about driving much. And that was kind of the experience that I just had, right? Even when I say things like, oh, I'm correcting a little bit from this turn, that's all at the unconscious level. In some way, the machine learning model in there is like working with the model that's in my mind. Which is something we have to think about when we do model updates.
Will you present at DEF CON?
I'm going to tell you something else that's real. We approached DEF CON. I wanted to speak there this year, and they said no. They said no. They're like, you know, we can't just pick speakers because they're famous, and I respect that. And if it comes from like a really honest place, and them saying that, you know, I wish them well. But I don't like to question people's intentions, but what I've seen, I'm not going to question their intentions, but I will talk about what I've seen at DEF CON, right? And what I've seen at a lot of conferences. Maybe it's like the death of subculture. DEF CON started out as a real hacker subculture conference, right? And you know, we'll talk about inclusivity. Inclusivity is great. Inclusivity of, you know, please join my subculture. You know, if you're interested in hacking, if you are genuinely interested in hacking, we would love to have you. You know, we want you to learn. We want you to be better. But what we don't want, and what you have to watch out for, is people who show up at DEF CON and don't like hacking culture, right? Don't do that. If you don't like it, like, there's the global culture, and you could try to change the global culture, but let people have their subcultures. And I kind of see things like DEF CON drifting away from subculture, and that was kind of, you know, apparent to me when they didn't want me to speak. So I don't know. I don't know if I'll be back at DEF CON. It's maybe I'll show up for a few interesting meetings, but just kind of my thoughts on it. Where's the next thing, right? Where's the next thing? And that's something I have to grapple with in my life, right? Like the death of 90s hacker subculture. And maybe it's, I don't know, maybe it still exists somewhere. But to be fair, like, that was the 90s, right? The subculture embodied in, like, you know, Hackers with Angelina Jolie. Like, that was great. These are the things I grew up watching, right? You watch that, you watch Sneakers, you watch War Games, you know, the old school hacker movies. But yeah, I mean, there was kind of a question of what's next. So I don't know. But yeah, it's kind of my thoughts on DEF CON. Sorry to be mean. And if you think DEF CON's cool and if you're having a good time, by all means, keep on going.
Oh, the person I banned was a bot. That's why I banned them.
Ban bots.
Someone was wondering.
No computers allowed. You know what? No. We shouldn't discriminate like that. I mean this. The problem wasn't that they were a bot. The problem is that they were repeating what other people were saying.
Right, exactly.
They did add an emoji at the end of a lot of it, but that doesn't count.
Emojis.
That's not adding value. To be honest, if
Yeah,
someone
bot.
could build a bot that added value, we absolutely
Yeah,
would
that'd be
ban.
fine. Like, ask the questions people actually want to ask or whatever.
Yeah.
That'd be
Wait,
sweet.
George, I have a little follow-up from what you were just saying.
Yeah.
Let me just... Oh.
Bro.
But the beginning was this.
Yeah. I mean,
There you go.
BoJack has to kind of find a way to move on. And in some ways, I didn't like the 4th season of BoJack because he moved on.
Wait, I'm not there yet. I'm not going to watch it.
Yeah. No. I shouldn't. That's not really a spoiler, right? I think
No,
kind
that's
of,
like more.
that's kind of,
bigger
yeah.
picture.
That's a bigger picture thing,
Wait,
right?
does it end in a positive way? Does BoJack
I
pull
don't,
his
I
life
don't
together?
know if it's over, but that is kind of what BoJack's about. It's very, in with the cultural zeitgeist. right
BoJack
now.
should be. I mean, he's so miserable. It'd be weird to see him all of a sudden.
Well, that's maybe the
I
problem.
wouldn't say it was that happy,
Right.
It was like a glimmer of more hope than at the end of other seasons.
Yeah. I have a saying a lot, too. It's 7 seasons of House taught me that people don't change.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I think about that. Am I capable of changing? When will I become a cultural relic?
Well, what would you do as an Uber CEO?
What would I do as Uber CEO?
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
I would hire Travis back and let him do it. To be honest, that's really what I would do. He could do a much better job at it than me. You know what? I would sit him down first, and here's the advice that I would give to him. Never apologize. You have done so much good for the world. Uber has done so much good for the world. Do you know how many lives Uber has probably saved from people who didn't drive home drunk?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Walking home in sketchy neighborhoods.
And there's such an attack on Uber, and I'm like, wow. I don't know. That's things that make me less hopeful for the future. Were there some cultural problems at Uber? Maybe. I wasn't there. But when you look at Uber as a force, right? I'm not here to speak about anyone's, experience at Uber. But when you look at Uber's force upon the world and Uber's impact on my life and Uber's impact on all the people who they've employed, right? And you can talk about, well, Uber drivers, they all hate Uber. No one's forcing you to do it, right?
Yeah.
It's an opportunity. Literally, you're given an opportunity where you kind of didn't have one before. So yeah, what would I do as Uber CEO? I'd think for a while about what I want to say to Travis, sit him down for an hour, tell him my thoughts, listen to his opinions, then probably regardless of what he says, say, welcome back.
Yeah. Here, baby.
If you want to do it. I don't know.
Maybe he's just checked out.
Maybe, man. I don't know.
But what are they going to do? They lose $1 billion every year.
Yeah, and you look at what's happening, with the EU stuff. I don't know. And you know what? It would be so sad if we lose ride sharing in the world.
Well, I don't think we lose it, but we'll pay triple the price.
Well, no. See, that's the problem, right? Like, I'm okay with paying triple the price, but not everybody is.
Yeah.
And then
it would go up more.
What I'm not okay with is waiting 18 minutes for an Uber,
yeah.
right?
And then it's over.
And then it's over. If you need to have sort of a critical density of ride sharing in order for the network to work.
By the way, when do you think openpilot will be able to handle hills better?
The new model architecture. The new model architecture is much more holistic, much more toward the original dream of comma.ai of end-to-end learning. This model's not very end-to-end. The lanes they're not hand-coded. They're extracted by an automatic ground truthing engine, but the automatic ground truthing engine is hand-coded. I even want to move away from that.
Are you looking at any dedicated AI chipsets instead of CPUs and GPUs?
No, so I'm kind of bearish on dedicated AI chipsets, and here's why. When you look at a CPU die, and when you look at how many, it's what are they? Multiply accumulates, right? Multiply two numbers and accumulate. It's the basic kind of DSP operation that you need for matrix multiplication, which is what neural networks are. You look at a CPU's die and you realize really only 2 or 3% of the transistors are dedicated to doing this. So there's clearly a room for a 30% improvement, right, at the same process size and the same power. So using CPUs for neural networks is obviously a bad idea. But when you look at a GPU's die, you see that 60% of the GPU already has the transistors kind of where you want them. Now you can do things like pipelining better in dedicated hardware than you can in GPUs, but it's not going to be a 10x improvement. It's going to be a 2 or 3x improvement. And the truth is that's the kind of improvements you could get from software. So I'm bearish on dedicated AI chipsets, and I'm bullish on GPUs, DSPs, and things that are a bit more general purpose. Because a lot of the transistors are already being used for the purpose you would use them for in a dedicated chipset anyway. Honestly, I really want to stick with smartphone hardware for as long as I can. Will next year's thing be based around a smartphone? Maybe. We'll see. We'll see how things shake up this year.
Why not make one state level 4, like Kansas, and then move by state?
That's not... So we're never going to put policy in the map. You have Cruise and Waymo putting policy in the map. And at some point it doesn't really matter, right? Also, the people think that there are regulatory barriers to level 4. There aren't. In some states, you can already put your car on the road, no people. It's just fine. I mean, it's a liability question, right? Obviously, you're liable then for what that car does. There's no driver in the car to take liability. But there's very little advantage to doing it state by state. There might be an advantage to doing it road type by road type, but then that kind of isn't level 4, it's level 3.
Wait, am I banning bots or no? That just repeat with the
If they repeat,
You ban low quality users.
Okay.
We won't discriminate whether they're computers or
any
people.
repetition, vulgarity.
Well, again, unless it's funny, right?
Funny.
You gotta be funny.
You gotta be really
If you
funny.
still have a PlayStation.
Oh, no. Get rid of that crap. This isn't even anti-shilling. Sony sucks. I don't know, just you know what? I'm even going to be nice to Sony. I'm not allowed to discuss my settlement meeting, but I am allowed to discuss the meeting we had after the settlement meeting, where I met with some engineers. And if there were going to be lawyers in the room, they wanted me to tell me how they did it. They really wanted me to do free security testing on the PlayStation for them. I'm happy to talk about it, to be honest, especially if there are engineers there, like the guys who built the security system. After you solve a puzzle, it's really fun to talk with the guy who wrote the puzzle. So I went to a room and they're engineers, and we just kind of talked about PlayStation security, mistakes, how things could have been done differently, and it was mostly kind of agreed on everything. No lawyers. I don't know. I really don't like lawyers and the lawyer way of thinking. The lawyer way of thinking is asking the question, what can't you do, not what can you do? I'm an optimist.
Is this really the last scope?
This is really the last Periscope, guys. I mean, there'll be more next year, but
it is?
You want to do more when we drive to Chicago?
Yeah.
I kind of feel like this is the last one.
Yeah, this is the last one.
Yeah,
we can't do fate.
Tomorrow we take the letters off of the car.
Yeah.
How many people we have?
37.
37. Tomorrow...
I think it's the true soul of comma, those 37.
Just 37, the true soul of comma. No, but look. We'll grow next year. We really will. Every week, the system gets better.
Sharing info on comma.
comma maps. We're working on them. We're working a lot on the. We have the upstairs team working on localization and mapping. We have an internal server which has our maps on them. They're accurate to about 1 meter right now. We want to get that accuracy down to 10 centimeters, and then we're going to open source as much as we can. So this is my warning to all the companies out there planning to rent seek by holding the map, planning to spend a lot of money right now to invest in building a map with like a dedicated fleet of mapping cars. We are going to disrupt you. I don't even mean this in like an aggressive way. I mean this in a like, don't be you being, right? Don't end up like that. If you can't figure out a way to sort of profit off of the mapping operation itself, you're going to lose.
How would one profit?
When will
We're
they get
profiting.
Mapping.
We're
And
profiting
if
off
they
the
have
mapping
some
operation.
other
Yeah. Right?
source of income.
If they have some other source of income, right? I mean, maybe it's possible for things like Paver to succeed, where at least you're crowdsourcing it, even if you are paying the users.
Yeah.
But we believe in paying the users with value. We add value with the dash cam, some value. I think we add a lot of value with openpilot.
When are they going to get an updated map with shipper data?
Oh, the updated maps with shipper data, that server broke. And there's no incentive to fix it. We're doing maps much more regionally now. We're trying to make the maps like really good in one region, and then we're going to probably open source like that region. We have lanes, signs, and curbs, and they'll all be accurate to like 10 centimeters.
Are we going to attempt to be the most popular dash street?
Yeah, I think. I mean, we think of Schiffer. The way we think of Schiffer in the coming year is Schiffer is like the remote control for your car, especially if you have an Eon mounted in it and stuff.
Yeah, a future we picture is something like your friend texts you a location, an address. You say like forward through Schiffer to my comma Eon. It'll show up in Waze.
Yeah,
You'll start going.
it'll show up in Waze, and then.
Yeah.
All right, you know what? It's the end of the year. We're going to talk about it. No, we're not going to talk about it. About it inverting paradigms. We're not going to talk about that. We'll talk about that next year.
Can you gather speed camera data in shipper?
Speed cameras.
Wait,
I
what?
don't know. I honestly don't know if we could see them. Car coming in here.
We do want to make a copnet. We can ID cops who are pulled over on the side of the road trying to.
Oh, cops when they're moving too.
Oh, when they're moving too.
Yeah.
Based on.
I mean, you look at the car, right? Same way people see cops, right?
Sure.
And we would love all of our Schiffer and openpilot network to report back where all the police are.
Contribute to Waze.
Yeah, we could contribute that source to Waze, and we could figure out a way to kind of make that data. I'm not sure we're going to contribute it to Waze. I think we will try to make that available in our apps. But I think this is maybe the killer feature of Schiffer
Yeah.
that will keep people, like really if we could have the best cop detector. I think this is how Waze bootstrapped.
You guys,
Yeah.
pigeon info for the loyal fans who are still on Periscope?
No. All I'm saying about pigeons is we're going to try to have some out the second or third week of January to the top Eon users. Don't care if it's openpilot or Schiffer Plus. Top Eon users, and it has to be an Eon we can obviously detect because they only plug into Eons. We're going to send some out, get telemetry, and then if the telemetry looks good, we will sell them. Yeah. Simple. You know what I would give for other companies to have periscopes like this?
What?
I just would be so happy.
Yeah, it'd be really cool.
It would.
And I was thinking, like a lot of people emailed George asking for, to be involved in comma.ai, some business, blah,
Just get
blah,
on
blah.
Periscope.
But, like, if you hopped on Periscope and started asking us questions, like, you have access to George Hotz right now. Like, if anyone out there wants to,
No, yeah, actually, to be
like,
honest.
negotiate
Yeah.
on Periscope, how cool of a world would that be if, like, you hear,
Yeah.
Apple buying Shazam on Periscope, Like,
Yeah.
Like, that's so
imagine
cool.
Shazam had a periscope, right? And this
Yeah.
is a world I'd like to see exist.
Cool.
Yeah.
Virtually, Chris said this really is amazing, and Bugsy said we'll be in New York until the 28th.
Cool.
We'll do a meetup in New York City. Just a meetup. We wanted the car, and
Yeah. Drink some beer.
Yeah,
I
some
can
beers.
drive down.
Yeah.
Well, you know, we can all do it. We
Yeah.
can we
Yeah,
have
Viv, come
the
up.
self-driving
I would come up.
car
For that, I would come up.
awareness tour reunion event.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, road trip plans. But yeah, no, I do this thing, right? I get people reaching out to me a lot from kind of like investment analysis firms. And they want to pay me $500 for an hour of my time to talk with me about the space, about the autonomous vehicle space. And I say this, I'm like, I'll do it if you can buy me an HTC Vive. Ship me an HTC Vive. HTC Vive is $100 more. To be honest, I'm sure they don't care about the money. But I think I've had like 4 of them reach out to me and offer me this deal. I think I even had one offer me $750. And I said, buy me an HTC Vive. And they couldn't do it because they're that bureaucratic. The HTC Vive test is kind of a great test of who you want to talk to. So same thing with the Periscopes, right? We have people email me and they'll send me like 4 emails and reaching out. I just ignore them. I actually have some filters to just set up to ignore them. Like, do you care or are you doing this as a job? If you care, come talk to us on Periscope and I'll be incredibly honest with you.
That's so cool.
Yeah,
And those are the
totally.
people we want to work with. Apple buying Shazam on a Periscope. Like, there's like Steve Jobs talking. And just kind of for, you know, posterity's sake, right? Like,
I don't know, and it like breaks down this information access that maybe only the media has right now. Like,
yeah, and then the media presents it through their lens.
yeah, it's bullshit.
YouTube, right? You guys, I was Times Person of the Year in 2006.
You were what?
I was Times Person of the Year in 2006, you know?
Yeah. That's what I heard.
I was.
Are you serious?
Swear to God, man. I'll bet you $100 I was.
Wow.
Yeah, $100?
No, you'll rip it. It's
I will rip it. No, I swear. I'll bet you $100.
Scopey's out there. George ripped the $100.
George owed me 50. Is that illegal to talk about?
No.
He owed me 50 and then he ripped it 100 and gave me half of it.
You know what, honestly, if that's what I go to jail for, I don't know, man.
The FBI's waiting for a
Someone
reason.
wants to do a stats page, like total mile driven disengagement rate. Do you want to do it or do you want us to do it?
You want us to do it? Oh, well, that's
If you
all
want to do
different.
it,
Yeah.
that's fabulous.
If you want to do it, if you want to go through these periscopes and analyze the disengagements, you are more than welcome. Who wants to go to Houston?
Houston.
Wow.
Nice.
I don't know if it's the same Houston.
Yeah, America's so bad at
Well,
naming
you
cities.
Arlington.
It's so unoriginal. Like, come up with
If you
anything.
guys, you want to do it, you should definitely do it. Will new modeling techniques ever replace deep nets?
Oh no, they're definitely based on deep nets. It's all about like how you train them. Deep nets are a very powerful idea. I don't know like what it would even mean for something to replace deep nets. I think things will work with deep nets. I think we'll find better ways to train them. I think meta learning is going to be a huge field of machine learning. We still use optimizers. Like if you're using stochastic gradient descent, there's no meta learning. You can talk about momentum as meta learning, but that's still very, very crude, right? What if you could learn what your future weight updates would look like? You could build predictive models of the learner. And then, I think this is not an original idea. There's people talking about it. There's probably people who've done a lot more research on it than me and know kind of why it doesn't work, but...
Yeah, virtually Chris is like, it's so annoying. You hear about things in Portland, Oregon, thinking they mean Portland, Maine.
Yeah.
And also, so this person wants to do it with all drives, not just our drives. Like all the data.
All the data. Yeah. I don't know. We kind of have those numbers.
Andrew Clemens wants to do it. Andrew Clemens.
They're kind of like exact user numbers. We don't really share those kind of things.
Do we train our model on Google/Amazon? And is it expensive?
No, we train our model in the basement. We have 25 GPUs in a cluster. Training models in the cloud is kind of hard for a bunch of reasons. Data access, bandwidth. You could set it up to all pull from S3, train it on some of those V100s. They got on AWS now. Maybe next year we move to cloud training. We're not buying any more hardware for the data centers.
I wish it wasn't so dark. I think we're about to come up on a cool spot in the Missouri River. No, Mississippi River.
What's the cool spot?
No, we're
It's
actually,
just like a huge part of the Mississippi.
this city
It's
is
really
built
cool.
right on the Mississippi River,
Yeah, I
right?
guess we'll see it tomorrow morning.
Yeah, we'll see tomorrow morning. go out. We got time tomorrow.
Yeah.
The tour ends tonight, folks.
Why so secretive about how much you're phoning, and will openpilot drive in traffic like in the Philippines?
Because those statistics are very easy to misinterpret. And I don't know. I've never been to the Philippines.
Thoughts on induced demand from AV reshaping land use and where we live?
Yeah, maybe. I think you already see this with Uber. I think you see the availability of ride-sharing services, increasing property values in places where public transportation doesn't access, in cities where like public transportation is super common, like New York. People who live like a 20-minute walk from the nearest subway stop, maybe their property value has gone up. But New York has cabs. I don't know.
Cabs are still really prevalent in New York City
because they're a good experience, right?
Yeah, and they were never overpriced.
They were never. Yeah, they're not that overpriced. They take credit cards. They're clean. You don't generally get it. Oh my God, you're getting some cabs in SF, and you're like, this driver is on drugs.
Yeah, and
or like you're going in circles.
I've had this in Vegas too. I'm like, you're on drugs, man. Like I can tell.
Yeah.
I've never had that in New York.
Yeah.
I've never like gotten into a cab where I could tell that like someone vomited in here a week ago.
Yeah.
They're clean, leather seats, that nice barrier. I don't know. It's a good experience, right? And that's where companies should be competing. They should be competing on experience.
What providers use for storage of user videos?
Azure, because they gave us free money. It was AWS, and then Azure gave us more free money. Thanks, Azure. And to be honest, it probably worked. We probably will end up sticking with Azure. Because who's doing another migration? Not the person who did the migration last time.
How will small manufacturers compete with like GM and Toyota? I think they mean how will small
car manufacturers?
Yeah, like or car dealerships. I don't know their question one way.
Car manufacturers don't compete. Car dealerships don't compete. Car manufacturers won't. Getting into the business of making cars is not a great business to be in. You're going to see the same thing with phones. Notice that the people who make phones today are the same people who were making phones, 20 years ago, for the most part. And I guess Apple's not, but they were making iPods, which is a similar thing, right? But a lot of the sort of like the Samsungs, the LGs, it's the same companies. They've been making cell phones forever. Motorola, now you watch the Nokias and the Blackberries die. So I think the same thing's going to happen with the car manufacturers. Maybe you'll see like the Fords. Yeah, Ford is who I don't have a bright prognosis for. Because they really don't want to be the Foxconn. Or they should be. They make a great truck.
We get this question a lot, but can you download your data on Schiffer?
Yeah. Just go to beta.comma.ai, download it. We can make exporting easier. We should.
We have exporting of canned data.
We'll make exporting videos from Cabana as well. You can already save it. Like apparently you can't right-click on the stream and click save.
Yeah.
I thought that worked.
It doesn't
I'm
work?
sure you can find some stream downloader tool and it'll work.
Can you download all the data for a fee?
For what?
You don't even need a fee. You can just download it. It's rate limited at some point. I don't know.
Yeah.
We answered that.
And then we have a bunch of driving data available from our research paper.
We do.
7 hours.
On archive.org, 7.5 hours.
7.5.
Do we know where we're going, Eddie?
Yeah, exit 2.
Exit 2. Okay, cool. You'll navigate us to
Yeah, we got a little more.
wherever we're parking the car to sleep in it tonight.
Yeah. Found a nice spot by the river.
Nice spot by there. So it's exit 2. Oh, that's on the Missouri side.
Yeah.
It's 2. We're on the Missouri side or the Wisconsin side? What's the address?
We pass over into Wisconsin.
Cool. I've been to Wisconsin yet on this trip. How many Scopies?
32.
32. This is good. We're kind of...
It's like a nice...
It's like dependent on our energy, I think.
Yeah, totally, it is.
It is. I mean, that's true about cam girls, too.
Things we've learned.
Yeah.
Things we've learned.
I mean, the materials that like car companies make within a car is pretty limited already to what you like touch and sit on. And
materials?
Like the parts of the car that like Ford makes is pretty limited, right?
Oh,
they
yeah,
make like the
yeah.
body, the seats, maybe.
Well, no, I mean, look, you can make the same argument about LG, right? Like LG buys the processor from Qualcomm, and I'm sure they have like.
Yeah, I don't think people think that cars are that way. But
Maybe.
I mean, same with phones too, right?
Well, exactly, yeah, it's the same with phones. Like they buy a
Most things are piecemeal.
They buy a camera module. There's tier 1 suppliers in a lot of industries. So yeah, I mean, most things in a car are made by tier 1 suppliers. Like the steering column is made by like Bosch makes steering columns, Continental.
Yeah.
Radars.
Twitch style donations and just continuously drive around.
Continuously drive around.
Virtually, Chris is wondering if we're going to support Nissan.
Virtually, Chris, that's the band question.
And then someone else is wondering, has any car manufacturer sent us a car to work with?
No. To be honest, we probably wouldn't accept it.
Well, actually,
Like,
Vico.
oh, well, yeah, I mean, that's why we won't accept it,
Yeah.
right? We briefly worked with this company, and it doesn't work because expectations aren't aligned. If you're a car company out there and you literally want to give us a car because you think we are cool, no strings attached, I will accept any car except a Subaru. Nah, I'll even accept the Subaru. I'm just kidding.
It's okay, VC. We accept the apology.
No, it's cool, man. It's cool.
It's cool.
I don't know. I will answer the question. Like for you, I'll answer the question. Our plan right now is to really just continue with Hondas and Toyotas. I'll probably get bored of this plan mid-next year because I'm personally sick of driving around in Hondas and Toyotas.
But the Civic is so nice.
Dude, I used to drive a Benz.
It's such a nice car.
I went from like Benzes and Porsches to like Civics and to Hondas and Toyotas.
It's like you got married and you had kids.
Yeah, I mean this is just me and my personal life, right? But is this system at the quality level where we can put it in a Benz and feel good about it? I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think we have to get better, and when we get better, we'll start working in like. I personally, guys, I want a self-driving car, right? And obviously the car that I would choose to buy is not one of these. If I was buying a car for my personal life, but if this is your budget for a car, these are the best cars you're going to find in this price range.
Yeah, the RAV4 has really jumped up a few spots this past year.
Oh yeah. This is apparently for a
the
while.
number one car this year.
No, not number one. So for a while it was number 3.
Yeah.
For a while it was number 3.
It's the cheapest new car on the market.
I think it's a Kia. I think there's like a Kia for like $12,000.
The Fiesta's down there too.
Is it
Fiesta's like 14.
14 you can get a car for?
I think the Fit is like 15. It's pretty crazy
it's
how
just all
inexpensive
that.
these things are.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean the real thing that's crazy and expensive is used cars,
Yeah.
right? You're willing to get like you can get like a when I bought a Porsche and a Mercedes, I didn't buy new Porsches and Mercedes. I bought used ones. My Porsche cost me $10,000.
Yeah.
It was a great, lots of fun car. And my Mercedes cost like $45. But I bought that to be nice. It's a $110,000 car new. Used cars are a great deal.
Yeah, you could probably buy a used
I sold it.
Honda Fit.
I sold it for 14.
Nice.
Like that's the real,
And you
right?
owned it for like
Oh, I own my car for 8 years. Yeah,
8 years. Yeah.
I'm happy with the depreciation and the value for the money I got on that car.
Will you buy a Tesla for personal use?
Actually, probably not. There's a few problems with a Tesla. First off, they aren't luxury cars. Despite a Model S having the price tag of a luxury car, I feel like the interior and the ride quality doesn't even match an Audi A4.
record, I disagree.
That's obviously my opinion. The electric, okay, the acceleration is cool. I like the acceleration, and I really like the responsiveness. You know what kills me? We rented a Chevy Volt, and they literally delayed the acceleration to try to mimic a gasoline car.
Yeah.
You have so much more power available to you in that motor. You deliberately make it lag. That's disgusting. disgusting. I mean, it's the only explanation I have. If that explanation is wrong, I would love to know, but that is certainly what it feels like. Like, they certainly have this thing in electric cars called creep, right?
Right, Tesla, you can turn it on.
We have AT&T, right?
Yeah, they're probably not.
Probably not. Dead Zone, let's tell them what we really think about them. We love you, Scopies.
Yeah,
Even if you can't hear us.
We love you. They're so dedicated.
I know, it's amazing.
Yeah, they are.
Right now I have service.
Sweet.
Scopies are probably back.
Scopies are probably like, we didn't want to hear that.
Does openpilot profile different car performances / response for deciding actions?
No. If you're driving safely, the truth is, with safe driving, all cars can kind of be treated as the same. Our limits, our steering torque limits, our braking limits, and our acceleration limits are well within what any production car can do. So maybe we'll leave them at exit 2. Oh, it's exit 2 in the new state. It's not, the exits are going that way, not
That's
this
why.
way. Is there a standard for that? I don't know.
Yeah, I guess they restart in the state.
I guess they restart
I
in
don't
the
think
state.
we saw that though anywhere else.
No, we
No, I
definitely
think they only
saw...
restart when they change the name of the highway.
No. They definitely restart in the state.
Really?
They definitely restart in the state. The only question is, are they going up or are they going down?
No, I guess they start going up again.
Well, yeah.
Well, we're quite high, right? You don't want like
we
exit
didn't.
500.
Well, we didn't pay enough attention to see if that was true all throughout the states, but you do run into an interesting problem where if like you have one that's descending and one that's ascending, you have two exit 2s actually pretty close to each other, just in different states, right?
Yeah.
You wouldn't really want that. That sounds like an interesting state coordination problem. I bet you members of state legislatures have spent a lot of time discussing that.
Yeah. Well, these are all federal. Interstate highway.
The interstate highways are federal. I don't know how much
Think.
control the state really have. No, they're federal. I think it was Hoover who like put them in.
Right. No, Eisenhower.
Eisenhower? Was it Eisenhower?
Eisenhower. There's a song about it. Eisenhower is the father of the interstate highway system, and the song is just a way to pay a little tribute to him.
Wow. Propaganda used to be a lot more blatant.
No, this is it's a newer song.
Holy Cross Airport.
The band is called Best Friends Forever.
Best Friends Forever.
Let's listen to Eisenhower.
Eisenhower. Not Hoover.
It was on.
Eisenhower. Man, Eisenhower. You know,
He was great.
So Eisenhower, he takes over from Truman, right? Eisenhower was like, he was a bridge player. The man was like he was real like analytical about everything. He was a real game player, real player of games. Wish we still had that in our modern.
I like him because he got on the air and told the American people about the dangers of the military-industrial complex.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's a great interview with him where he talks about it.
Yeah.
He's like, we shouldn't really have this machine that exists. We need to be weary of it.
Yeah.
And then it kind of fell.
Yeah.
Fell to
And then Truman, Truman made the decision to drop the bombs. You hear about interviews with Truman where like they're talking about, do you really feel like you made the right decision? What about all those lives? And Truman's just like, look, man, you have no idea what it feels like to have made this decision. Okay?
Yeah, I mean, like all the people that worked on the bomb were like pretty upset too.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you can play out alternative histories with what would have happened.
Yo, shout out to Martine watching.
Your mom's watching?
Yeah, my mom's watching.
Hey, Mrs. Ford.
Hey, Biz Mom.
I think we're coming up on the exit.
What do you think of recursive neural networks?
RNNs or RNNs are recurrent? What do you
Not
mean?
recurrent. Oh.
What do you mean by recursive?
Recursive neural networks, not
Talking about like WaveNet kind of stuff. I wouldn't exactly know what the term is. It's hard to keep all the terms straight. I kind of just see the net diagrams being drawn out, and I think about like informational flow. I don't know. I'd have to look into like more what they are.
So we just crossed.
Don't you worry that Musk will kill car usage with Hyperloop?
No. That sounds great, man. I want a Hyperloop.
Yeah.
I'm not like worried about these things,
Musk
you
is
guys.
even doing Hyperloop.
I'm excited by these things. I would love to live in a better world where there are Hyperloops. Dude.
Chris has gotta go.
Oh, we gotta go
bye,
soon
man.
too.
Bye,
See
VC.
you later,
You're not
man.
missing much. We're leaving in like 2 minutes.
Thank you for joining us for this trip. It's been great having you on the road trip with us. Yes.
We're excited for more of your videos.
We're definitely excited for more of your videos.
I think it's the next exit after this thing.
Exit. Is Musk nuts? No, he doesn't strike me as
Exit
nuts.
2.
Alright. Maybe we'll leave it with that. Scopies, we're going to the French Islands, and where we go from here, nobody knows.
Nobody knows where comma goes.
Where comma goes. Goodbye.
Bye, Scopies.
We'll see you in the new
Light
year.
up, you guys, so they can't see you.
Enjoy.
Bye, Scopies. Thanks for joining us on this trip. We'll see you
Bye-bye.
soon.
It's been great having you.